Do you know Minnesota is the 5th safest state when it comes to violent crimes in America? And the 14th safest state when it comes to property crimes in America? I'm going to give you the top 5 safest suburbs to live in the greater metropolitan area of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm Nick Sundahl with Acta Homes of Keller Williams Classic Realty Northwest, and this is Minneapolis Living. Before we get to the top 5 safest suburbs in the Twin Cities, please hit that subscribe button. While you're there, ring that bell so you're alerted every time I upload a new video on Tuesdays and Fridays. The number 5 safest place to live in the Twin Cities is Farmington. Farmington is about 15 miles south of the Twin Cities of downtown Minneapolis and St. Paul. It has about 22,000 people living in it, and it covers roughly 22 square miles. It's less densely populated than most other suburbs, and it has a violent crime rate of 0.55 per thousand, and that's on a per year basis. So if you look at it, more just over 1 per 2,000 people that live there. It's very safe to live, and if you look at non-violent crimes, we're just over 9 per thousand per year. The number 4 safest place to live in the Twin Cities metro area is Rosemount. It is actually a neighbor to Farmington, has roughly the same population, although it doesn't cover the same amount of area, so it's a bit more densely populated. If you're looking at just violent crime, it's on par with Farmington at roughly 1 per 2,000 people that live in the area, and of course that's per year. However, it has a lower rate of nonviolent crime or property crime at just under 9 per 1,000 per year. The number 3 safest place to live in the greater metropolitan area is Hopkins. Hopkins is also the closest to downtown Minneapolis or St. Paul out of the top 5 here. It's also the most densely populated. Hopkins boasts about 3 to 4 square miles of area that it covers. It's almost fully developed, and it hosts almost 18,000 residents. The violent crime rate in Hopkins is 1.8 violent crimes per 1,000 per year, and then the non-violent crimes is just under 14 per year. Now, the violent crime rate in Hopkins can be attributed more towards the amount of people that are in the area in the southwest suburbs than to the actual city alone. Now, the number 2 safest place to live in the Twin Cities metro area is Lino Lakes. Lino Lakes sits north of St. Paul, just about 14 or 15 miles outside of downtown. Lino Lakes is a much bigger community than, say, Hopkins. It sits on about 22 square miles, and it has about 22,000 people that live in it. The Lino Lakes violent crime rate is actually the lowest out of all these 5 at 0.42, so you're actually having less than 1 violent crime per 2,000 people that live in Lino Lakes, which is incredibly safe. The property crime rate, or the non-violent crimes, is just over 9 per thousand per year. So Lino Lakes comes in at number 2. Before we get to the number 1 safest place to live in the greater metropolitan area of Minneapolis and St. Paul, if you please again hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so you're alerted when I upload new videos. Also, if you're looking to move to the Twin Cities or within the Twin Cities, please reach out. You can call, text, email, connect with me on social media. Honestly, I don't care how we connect, but I'd love to hear from you. Also, comment below. What do you think are the safest places to live in the Twin Cities? What do you like? What don't you like? And in the description, you're going to find links to all of the data that I provided today, as well as links to these communities on my website if you're interested in looking at homes and neighborhoods. Now, the number 1 safest place to live in the greater metropolitan area of Minneapolis and St. Paul, Minnesota, it's Orono. Orono sits about 5 to 6 miles west of downtown Minneapolis, just north of Lake Minnetonka. It has a violent crime rate of just over 1 per 2,000 people that live there. The thing of it is only 8,000 people live there, so it means 4 violent crimes a year happen in Orono. I'd say that's pretty safe. Now, when it comes to nonviolent crimes or property crimes, it's just over 6 per 1,000 per year, which makes about 40 to 50 nonviolent crimes, which include theft, vandalism, etc. So that's our top 5 safest places to live in the Twin Cities. Again, please comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, reach out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.